Coming towards the end of April, it means it's time to buy another stock for our small investors account. In our account right now, we have quite a bit of companies at hand, and I think it will only grow bigger and bigger. But remember, the purpose of this series is to show that even with small amounts of money, we are still able to make some wealth out of it as well. And as of recording today, our account stands at about $2,451, and we have a P&L of negative $350, which means that we are losing $3.50 overall, but these are all paper loss. And the biggest loser is actually Capo DC REIT, but we'll have a plan for that coming up. So some of the ways I get my ideas on what to buy and when to buy what is really through my daily life. Sometimes we come across a company, or we do some searches or some advertisements, and we see such companies and we're like, hey, you know what? Why not let's invest in that? And I've created a spreadsheet as well to identify stocks that I'm looking to buy or have bought, and based on the data that I have, we are yielding at about 3% dividend yield on our current portfolio. Though it might be on the lower end, my goal for this portfolio is to hit a 4 to 5% dividend yield return. And definitely we can boost the dividend yield by going into more REITs, but if we are too focused into REITs, we might end up putting all our eggs in one basket, and that's not very safe. So today we're going to put some money into consumer defensive. So before we move forward, always remember to do your own diligence and do your own research, and do not just believe someone random on the internet. And this is not financial advice. So today we're putting some money into consumer defensive. So you might ask, what is a consumer defensive stock, or what is consumer defensive? Basically, consumer defensive is a sector that refers to companies that manufacture food, beverages, household products, personal products, and etc. And why do we need such defensive stocks? It's because, like, when you turn back time, back in 2020 April, the whole world was in chaos and panic, and when that happened, the equity market started to react as well. We saw stock crash 10 to 30%, and it was just absolutely crazy. However, the consumer defensive stocks did not get rocked as hard because their business sells essential goods that everyone would need to survive regardless of good times or bad times. Like, for example, if you ran out of instant noodles, the next step you'll probably take is to head down to the supermarket to get some instant noodles, and more often than not, you end up taking some other stuff along the way as well.
Red beets I like. Oh, plutonium. I need a lot of these.
And on top of just selling this essential stuff, consumer defensives are great for dividend investors like me because it's literally a cash cow. And chances are, if you're in Singapore, you've probably heard of Giant, Cold Storage, Jason's Market, 7-Eleven, Guardian, and probably patronizes either of these on a regular basis. So imagine a business selling the same stuff to the same customer every single weekend. This is probably one of the best businesses to purchase as a dividend investor. However, one of their weaknesses is actually growth. Like mega supermarket chains like Giant, NTUC, Sheng Siong competing with each other because they essentially sell similar stuff. Price wars are bound to happen, and when that happens, it reduces their margin, which might potentially put them out of business. And on top of that, there are smaller players who start their own company that serves the same group of customers, but they provide additional services like doorstep delivery. So like RedMart, they got their own in-house brands, prices are somewhat cheaper or sometimes a little bit more, but they provide a doorstep delivery for the lazy people in us. So enough rambling and talking, because I know you guys are just waiting for the stock of today, and the stock in question is D01 on the SGX, which is Dairy Farm Group. Dairy Farm International Holding is a regional retail giant in Asia which operates brands like Cold Storage, 7-Eleven, Giant, Guardian in Singapore. Their ticker symbol is D01 on the Singapore Exchange, and right now it's $4.39. So on screen right now, you'll be able to see how I'm purchasing these stocks using my Tiger Brokers account. Don't worry if you don't have USD in your account, you'll still be able to purchase a stock through my favorite broker, Tiger Brokers. They provide low fees for trades and competitive forex exchanges as well. And right now, they are running a promotion. For new signups, if you use the link down below, you get free trades, you get a Starbucks voucher as well. Not really a Starbucks voucher, but a Starbucks stock if you top up your account with at least $2,000. Links are in the description down below. So Dairy Farm has presence in 11 countries in Asia, and their main anchor business is in the supermarkets and the hypermarkets. Other than supermarkets and hypermarkets, they operate convenience stores like 7-Eleven, health and beauty like Guardian, home furnishing like IKEA, but not the same one that we have in Singapore because it's under Ikano. and they also have restaurants in other countries as well. So a fun fact here is that Dairy Farm Group operates more than 20 Starbucks stores across Vietnam and Cambodia. So if you want to get a small piece of Starbucks, you can consider getting some Dairy Farm, or signing up with Tiger Brokers. Links in the description. So the dividend for Dairy Farm is pretty beautiful at 3.9%, something that I'm very happy with, and as mentioned earlier, we are looking at a 4 to 5% yield. And it pays about 20 cents per year, and it's paid out biannually. Ex dates are in March and August. So we might have missed the one in March, but we'll probably get the one that's coming up in August. So although this share is a little bit on the expensive side, so this month's purchase is going to be a little bit more expensive. At $4.39 per share, it's about almost $5-6 per share in Singapore dollars. And because on the SGX there's a minimum purchase, so there's a minimum amount that we need to buy with, which is almost $600 for this month. Alright, so let's go ahead and buy this share. I've topped up my account earlier before recording this video. We're just going to go to quotes, search for Dairy Farm Group, and we can see the share here is $4.39, and we're just going to press trade, and we're going to press buy. So if you notice, there's a small little loan section here that appears on screen right now. You're able to see this will result in a loan of $424.40 USD. So if you look on screen right now, you're going to buy 100 shares of Dairy Farm, and you realize that at the bottom of the amount, you're able to see that there's a loan that's in red and it says $424.40 USD. So what happens here is that Tiger Brokers will loan you the amount, and you have to repay it back by the end of the trading day. So like for Singapore, you have to pay by the end of trading day, which is 5 p.m. before 5 p.m. this evening. So we're just gonna go ahead and press place buy order and confirm. Okay, so there was a little bit of a mistake down there, like they do not allow margin buys right now, no idea why. But nonetheless, so what we're gonna do is to go into the trade tab. We're gonna press onto account, we're gonna press exchange, and over here we're gonna switch this to Sing dollar and USD. So what happens here is we're just gonna key 603, and we're gonna exchange it for USD. So once you get that beautiful notification, that's done. What we do next is go into quotes, search for D01, press trade, press buy, 100 shares, and place buy order. So once our order is through, you don't have to pay any loans with this, and I suggest that you try not to use the loan function as much as possible. So that's about it, and that's the end of today's video. I hope you have enjoyed the video today and you understand a little bit blah, 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 blah. And I hope you understand a little bit more on how to convert your Sing dollar to USD to purchase stocks that are in the USD denominations. Do drop a like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.